most uniquely English ways to celebrate the Christmas season is wassailing. Wassail, as you may know, is a drink from Shakespeare's lifetime, but it's also a traditional custom where you would go door to door carrying a big bowl of this drink in hopes that the houses you visited would give you some food or money in return for a taste of the wassail or in appreciation for the music you were singing at their home. To explore what kind of songs would have been sung for this activity of wassailing through the streets in Shakespeare's England, I sat down with music historian Debi Simons to hear about the history of wassail songs from England. Here's what she had to say.
So the clearest one that I found again was the Max Miller one. Wassail recipes varied quite a bit. Some were cider based and some were beer or ale based. However, the one he uses and the one I've seen the reference to the most, if there is any kind of standard recipe, and you think about, say, if you said to a modern person, we're going to have some punch at the reception. Well, that could mean almost anything. It'll probably have certain elements. It'll be cold, it'll be sweet, it'll have fruity stuff in it, it'll probably be bubbly. And after that, so wassail would be kind of the same thing. However, I'm going to say by the Middle Ages and then on into the Elizabethan period, into Shakespeare's time, there would be a fairly standard base, you might call, of some kind of dark ale. So in Wassail, wassail all over the land, all over the town. If I can sing that, you'll hear it. It's wassail, wassail all over the town. Our bread it is white, and our ale it is brown. Okay, so you've got to have some brown ale if you're going to make yours according to that song.
Now, with the
Yes.
song that you just sang for us, that snippet, tell us the date that comes from, and then also tell us what were the other songs that were considered wassail songs, because of course we first think of wassail as a drink, but it was also musical. So tell us about some examples of songs from Shakespeare's lifetime that were wassail songs.
Okay. Well, as for the date of the song, we don't know because these are folk songs and they originate and they get passed down for a long time before they're ever written down. So I don't know what date that song was
But we
first
can say that
written
it was
down.
being sung in the
Yes.
16th century.
Oh,
We just don't know
yes.
where it started.
Right.
Okay.
And so there's wassail, wassail all over the town that I just sang. And then there's wassail, wassail. And then there's another song that we don't think of as a wassail song, but it really is. And it's We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
I
And
know that one. That's
and then there's Here we come a wassailing among the leaves so green. Here we come a wassailing so fair to be seen. Love and joy come to you, and to you good wassail too. Now, this one, Love and Joy Come to You. It's obviously been being sung to probably a person. And the really intriguing line in that song, which again would have been a folk song, there are many versions of it, but it certainly would have been still being used in Elizabethan
To
times.
hear more about the history of wassail, including apple wassail, how bread is involved in the making of this drink, and other little wassail tidbits, then subscribe to our podcast at CassidyCash.com or on Apple iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, because next Monday we'll be publishing our full interview with Debi, and that will be available at CassidyCash.com/episode 349. That's CassidyCash.com/EP349. If you're listening after December 23rd, you can go directly to that URL to listen right now. If you'd like to see bonus history related to wassailing, including some recipes and samples of songs, then be sure to support our show on Patreon. Patrons get access to bonus history content related to our podcast that you can explore while you listen to the conversation. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Cassidy Cash, and I hope you learned something new about the Bard. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.